Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to the AstroPub. All right.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship. Hey, bite-sized hobbit.
Space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews. Ow.
But you can never,
Never.
ever take away my space game.
Dig Dug just resubscribed for 41 months. Happy summer, Paul.
Thank you so much for that.
Long live pizza.
I'll turn it down a little bit, so I'm not peaking too much. The problem about a good microphone is that it picks me up everywhere. Picks up everything everywhere. If I turn it down too low, then no one can hear me. Oh, thank you so much for that. 41 months of support there. 89, you're a very important pupper, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. It was my volume, not yours. Well, it's also like it's a matter of like, I know people who are super upset when like the volume of a streamer is super high. Like, I can't watch you, I can't listen to you because I can't keep like. So I try to hit the great decibel limit, which is when you're looking at OBS, it's somewhere between -15 and -5 decibels in terms of like when you talk. Welcome to Zero to Hero. This is where I go for take a starter package that just has a starter ship and then see how far I can go. So far, I've purchased a bunch of armor, some upgrade weapons, and I still have a Mustang. My goal is to get a 325A. I also purchased some stuff for that. Thank you. I want to get a vest in the same colors, but I want to get a vest in the same colors with the, I forgot what these are called, Paisley style. I want to be gaudy as fuck. Let the galactic conquest begin. Yes. The goal for this one is, it's specifically a mercenary role. So I'm like a bounty hunter mercenary. And I got this helmet, so I decided I needed to go full, match the helmet, get an armor set that match the helmet, so. Full demon. Technically it's Oni, not that stuff, but. The eyes are off. One of the eyes is duller than the other. Yeah, the right eye is duller than the other. Interesting. I like how these are still here, by the way. These are from 2020s. This is from 2050 or 2950. That is the current Imperator, by the way. Addison. Why hasn't CIG taken them down? I don't know. Because they look cool. I'd love to see more posters like that for various like brands and such. They did take them off of the like. They used to be like right there. So to give you an idea, so far we're at 1 million. We've been taking missions for orange level security patrol. Let's Security sweep, we've been taking these two. They haven't been functioning properly. When I take them, sometimes they fuck up. I may have to just do the low risk. Yeah, let's do that one. Ham sandwich, yes. I've said that if I ever choose another handle, it will be ham sandwich. So if you see a ham sandwich in another game, it's probably me. My incognito pub. It's my home, so. Though it might also be ham sandwich. That also works. Listen, spam's good, all right? I don't know why people hate spam. I think it's because they had to, like, eat a lot of it in the 40s and 50s. So people just, like, despise it now. But, you know, in moderation, spam's great.
Our Corp's unique vertically integrated corporate parks offer amenities such as resource sharing and logistical pairing for our rental partners. Inquire today to learn how you can invest in making our Corp your new home.
Yes, if you see a ham sandwich in a store, that is definitely me. Incognito. Yeah, so Cam and I will often... Let me retrieve that. That actually spawns the hangar.
Servicing the greater Area 18 metropolitan area. We hope you have safe travels wherever your final destination may be.
Do I have to hop servers? I may have to hop servers. Man. It's so appropriate that CIG's servers start to just fucking shit the bed during the summertime. It's just like, this is the time they need to be keeping momentum. Yep, I'm gonna have to swap servers.
Your personal belongings are your personal...
Because, like, summer is always the worst time for CIG. Less people are interested in the game, because more people are out touching grass. Less people are, my name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Show, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? Welcome. Oh.
You can take away my spaceship.
Spaceship.
You can take away my space suit.
Suit. 47 months,
take away
shit.
My space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Thank you so much for that 47 months with 42-month streak there, Space Meadow. You're a very important pupper, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. This is your fault. We're good night. Shots and cheers. Chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Take it up, son. It's fucking long time. Thank you, Helium. Yeah, welcome. How you doing, Tomato? It's good hanging out while I was writing my review of the Cutter while you were streaming, so it was nice to do that. It's good. Also good to listen in. It's always good to look at CIG's to-do list. It's usually pretty long. But I think you said something that kind of stuck with me that I think is important to note, is that CIG has already done so and will always take a big idea and then try to turn it into a gameplay idea. And typically when they do that, they end up with a system that isn't what they hoped, what they promised at the very beginning, but it's functional. Is it possible for them to do a 77600 setup for static? They probably could, but it would probably be very expensive. That's one of the reasons why they want to do dynamic, is simply just so they can turn off or consolidate servers when they don't have anybody. Like if there's one person in an area, like you can merge that server with another wider server and save server time. It also allows them to up their server count because they can like micromanage. I don't know what's with this new thing. They all freaking kneel now. Something was added to their code that made them start to kneel. It was this patch too. But this is my 0 to hero account, so I go from just a starter pack to go all the way up to the highest you can go. Right now I'm on a Mustang, but I did kill an ace pilot the very end of my last stream with this. So I officially downed an ace. Don't have any like proof of it. It was the first time I ever encountered an ace pilot.
Stand clear. Doors are now closing.
And I love that in Dame RPAF sites there's dudes with no helmets on just casually surviving. Yeah, well, see, that's just a skill issue on your part. They have lungs of titanium. Thank you. I'll probably keep it shorter, but not as short as this. This is just more of I wanted to clean up a little bit, and I didn't. I just sort of started shaving and realized, oh no, this is a really short. This is a really short shave. So I do think that Dynamic is going to come out probably this year. I still think it's going to come out this year. It might end up doing what they do typically, which is like it sort of technically comes out this year where it's in a PTU build that's gonna, you know, or like a preview build that will like go into February for them to actually release it. But I'm interested to see after that is the new Mazerov's hat too. That's nice. It's really nice, like the helmet. It's not the new Mazarov chest though. Even a preview build would be nice as progress. Yeah. The thing is, and I said this on the launch sequence with Tomato, which is like, I don't think CIG themselves can get away from trying to do cool new shit. Like it's just a culture within their company that I don't think they could exist as a company today without trying to do cool new shit.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the. Please visit us again.
Yeah, it was Kenny. It was good to see you. And I saw somebody else said, "Hey, it's good to see you on there. Thank you for coming to that show. Hopefully, you all enjoyed your time. The idea was just to sit down and hang out and talk with people. There were so many people that one. It was insane. It's been a while since I've seen that many people at a Bar Citizen. It was like 80 people. For those of you who don't know, even at Austin Bar Citizens, I typically do we typically have like 20 to 30 people who show up. I need to show up to them more often, but loot. Meet Lefty here. Chat named it Lefty because its wings kept falling off and it tended to favor its left side.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All systems operational.
God, I hate this. Yuka, yeah, it was good seeing you there. Thank you. Yeah, a couple people were like, you look skinnier than the last time I saw it. Because the last time you saw me, I was 50 pounds heavier. My goal is to get another 50 pounds soon, but I've hit that, like, wall. I literally walked away when they were doing the trivia because I was like, nope, they're gonna tell me I can't answer it anyways. The one thing I did say, which was nice, because some people said, oh yeah, they had a bunch of in-game stuff. I'm like, I'm glad there's more in-game stuff. Like, I want to do a review of every one of the landing zones, but I want to do it in sort of like in fiction, as if I'm an actual like biographer going through and talking about the history of each landing zone in the Stanton system and its little hidden spots and you know, the functionality of it. I did it again. I hate when it does this. Controls. Yes. 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 Yes.
Contact.
That request has already been granted.
Landing gear.
Thank you.
Accepted.
And please visit again.
Question for you. Have you ever felt like you hit a wall on content to cover? I have, frequently, but then I always remember there's more. There's a lot of stuff that CIG does that like the details. Like, I could get into the nitty-gritty details, and I've talked about this for a while, but I want to do a video on all of the food in Star Citizen. Because I could do a video on 40 minutes on the food of the Star Citizen universe. I could do shorter videos. If I did shorter videos, I could do shorter videos on every one of the landing sites, you know, even the stations of Pyro and where they come from and why they're there, that kind of stuff. What does the Vandal eat? They eat paste. See, that's the thing. It's like Star Citizen has 12 years of writing. There's a lot of stuff which is fairly obscure. Like, one of the things I'm going to do for the Untold Tales series, which I try to do during the Halloween, is I'm going to be doing an Untold Tales on the CIA of Star Citizen, the Office of Executive Services, or not the Office of Executive Services, the Division of Executive Services, or Division. The flight is unknown. The model is dog ass. History of Whammers, yeah, I could do the History of Whammers. Hey, look, the sun. Oh, no, wait, it's just the reclaimer in the distance. I mean, there's also Benny Henge. There's the history of the Nine Tails and how they came about. I kind of did one of the videos on that, but like the various gang factions and who they are, the various corporate factions and their rise to power. I actually don't know what Whammers uses for food, but I'm pretty sure it's Kazi Grazer meat. CIG's painted themselves in a corner. They can literally go super detailed in all career paths, from cooking captain of an enterprise or being the captain of a ship, and it'll take forever to program and all. That is true, but I think that's kind of the problems that CIG sort of went big, where they can kind of go with everything, and then captain of industry. Okay, they could go. They could do anything, and that was really the early pitch that Chris had. But that's how all games start. Like talking with developers and studying how other games have come about. Every game like developer has these crazy ideas, especially if it's a group of like more than one person doing the ideas. Ideas come up fast and thick when you start coming up with an idea. And from what I've gathered, the theme of most games is solidified pretty early, but the actual gameplay and the game ideas, they often don't coalesce until the very end of a project. So as a result, when you get to the end of a project, when you hit that deadline, you gotta start doing something. That's when those actual gameplay functions start happening, and that can be kind of shitty. It can also be really good. Limitation breeds innovation. And so what CIG is kind of in the point, the point is that, you know, they've always been talked about how the game is infinite possibilities, but now they actually have to make a video game that people will play, and I think they'll do okay with it. But I also think it's not going to please people. I've been saying this for quite literally years, that CIG is going to get to a point where they have to make the game and people will hate the game actually comes out, because so many people are in love with Star Citizen's potential and not with it as a video game. Knowing what they have to be able to retcon and continue with better ideas, I think they have a shot. Generally speaking, I don't think they'll retcon a lot. Like, for instance, with Nyx, I doubt that they're going to retcon a whole ton of what they want, because the theme of Nyx is different from Pyro, and they don't really need to change the system up significantly. The big thing that's going to come with Nyx is asteroid bases, which we already have, but they're going to be more in depth in Nyx, because that's basically what the entire system is made up of. So instead of having outposts and bunkers, we're going to have probably more in depth and more diverse asteroid bases, like mining bases. Yeah, zero-G cargo as well. It's all like space. Nyx is very space-oriented, whereas Pyro became very ground-oriented because CIG's technology existed for starting to do, you know, stuff on the ground, so they had to change the second system they were ever going to make into something that people would actually want to go to the ground for. Did I have a contract? I just didn't track it. Mustang's so nimble. Yeah, a lot of people like that game, but that means that there's a lot of expectations. Yeah. You mean like what's going on with the flight model and torps and capital ships right now? I mean, I also think that a lot of people misunderstand details with gameplay. Like the balance of ships or balance of weapons and stuff like that and armor. People are like, oh, well, this is awful. This is CIG has no idea what they're doing. And it's like, no, that's just balance. As long as the idea behind what a ship is or what a gun is or what a piece of armor is remains the same, what you're dealing with is more of how does it balance with other things. It's kind of like how I've seen a lot of people say, like, the lore of Star Citizen is awful because they keep changing things. And I'm like, they didn't change the themes. And then I find out that the reason why they don't like it is because they're science nerds. And they're like, well, this isn't a red dwarf planet. It's now a yellow dwarf, which completely ruins the whole point of it. It's like, what? People have different expectations for... Why are you so... Trespass. Ignore you, because you're not that important. Ooh, spicy? You are nothing. Brother! Why, brother? See? Wing broke off. No, I'm leaving. Brother, can I have some targeting, brother? There'll be a constant back and forth for weapons, armor, shields. Yeah, and I always, after playing Cyberpunk after its initial launch, and then now after several years plus Phantom Liberty, I can say that the likelihood of Star Citizen ships and weapons and armor and all those sorts of things changing dramatically even after 1.0 is very high. Because, like, the way all of the combat kind of flowed in Cyberpunk before Phantom Liberty, and I'm sure it was a patch before Phantom Liberty, but versus after is so different in terms of like how grenades work, in terms of how healing items worked, which changes up the dynamic of the game dramatically. But the flow, or the vibe of Cyberpunk never changed. It's still the same sort of vibe as what it had at the beginning with, and it just feels tighter in terms of gameplay. And I think that's the kind of thing you're going to see in Star Citizen, is that right now what CIG is doing is building content on foundations of what they believe the game will be in 1.0. But they don't know for sure how that's going to look until it's actually implemented and players start playing with it. And once they do, they'll get to it and they'll start actually changing those things up. And CIG has shown in the past that when they actually have a chance to work on gameplay without restrictions, that gameplay tends to get tightened up really quickly. They tend to iterate very fast. But yeah, so like for instance, the vehicle team, yeah, I do believe that we're going to see a lot of that stuff sooner than people think. All of that stuff is stuff that they're quietly talking about, which, in my opinion, tends to mean that they're probably going to, it's probably going to be in the game before the end of the year. I think the big things we're going to see before the end of the year is engineering, at least in some form, scanning, at least in some form, and crafting, at least in some form, with maybe dynamic server meshing towards the end of the year as well. And to cap it all off, Nix. Those are the four things that I think we'll see towards the end of this year. And we'll probably see an iteration on engineering early next year as well. But all right, let's see a new mission. Ooh, trucker license. Moderate risk, finally. Why? I don't like going... I have to go to the orphanage? I have to go fight the orphans? No. CIG, no. Why? If the game goes more cyberpunk, I'd imagine they do FPS abilities. They're gonna end up... I mean... The reality is that Star Citizen's whole ethos is dripping in 80s cyberpunk nostalgia. They've even said that it's a love letter to 80s science fiction. And 80s science fiction, for anybody who knows, is heavily influenced by cyberpunk. It sort of developed the concept of what we know today as cyberpunk. So, like, whether CIG knows it or not, they're taking on the themes and the motifs of series like Aliens and Blade Runner. So, as a result, they're going to probably start to adopt a lot of those ideas as well. Like, when you can start chroming your shit out, like, that's going to happen eventually, because CIG loves to have that kind of cool shit happening. There'll be some consequences for it, obviously. But people are going to use the term I just used, like chrome, and they'll start picking up this cyberpunk sort of... Shit, there goes my wing.
Contact.
You dead? Not dead. Can give you the update. Done. Where's the other bastard? Where's the other bastard? You shot missiles at me. You made lefty again. I'm gonna have to deal with you. This is why we call him Lefty. Well, the thing is that Buccaneers uses ballistics, and ballistic ammo rip through my shields and will just decimate my my appendages. Whatever happened to the derelict ships in space and ground missions? Did they go away? I think they just disappeared. I don't think they've been added back. Which Mustang am I flying? I'm flying the Alpha. Because this is the starter ship. This is like the starter pack. But I have more than... Ooh, I didn't even... I can't because... because my wing's gone. I lost a bulldog. But as you can see, I have... Let me see if I can get my... Does it have the list of things that I have? No, it doesn't. Okay, we're going to have to return to Genie. What kind of control type? I use twin sticks. I've got twin VKB gunfighters. And no, I don't have pedals or anything like that. So no, I actually fought, I don't think the ace pilots spawned in anything less than a Hornet. At the very end of my my last stream with this, I killed an ace pilot in this thing. To be fair, he was bugged out to shit, so he didn't actually, like, hit anything. So I'm going to try to repair, and if it probably won't work, because I've had this problem in the past, where you try to repair, and it will, like... say it's repaired, but then the gun still doesn't fire. So I'll have to, like, abandon it and come back for it.
Landing gear engaged.
So far, any ace pilots I fought have been not been very aced. Yeah, they've been kind of garbage. The AI's been busted. Again, it's just so... Whenever I say CIG manages to ruin all of their momentum in the summer, it fucking every single time. I hate being right with that. Maybe one day CIG will learn how to keep up its momentum, but it's not today. Take off. It says it's back. Ah, it's back. Sweet. I should have medium bounties. Nope, they still don't give me medium bounties yet. But I'm at that level. Let's see if there's any mercenary missions I can do. I can do an orange level. Let's do the orange level. People have been saying, "Oh, this is awful. This is terrible." It's like, but based off of my own experience currently with the game, I have had very little issues.
Hey, it's Squadron with Foxwell. Courtesy reminder to not head out on patrol without getting geared up. Things have been wild out there lately.
Summer decay of development. It's so it's twofold.
Appreciate you covering that patrol, but don't go out low on ammo and other essentials. You might need them.
Generally speaking, if a member of CIG has a family. They're going to use the summer the way most people use their summer, and they're going to go out and enjoy the summertime, just like, you know, most players are. So they'll have like family vacations. They'll be with you know, doing other things.
Contact.
Okay, good. You found them. Operation Security Blanket is a go.
Boosting.
All channels! I'm under attack! Please, if you hear this, help me!
Gladius, I am more nimble than you, buddy.
Hey, you're doing good. Keep it up.
I fire at him, he panics, he crashes into a fuel tank. They really did base their flight characteristics off of players.
Pressure on him.
More? Come on, Teddy boy. I'm in the mood for chicken. Come on. Putting more of a fight than the other ones are, though. The other ones did. Ah, now you're glitched out. Oh, you're firing back at me. Neat.
Thank you. I thought we were done for.
Not seeing anything on the scans. I think you're good.
That one's mixed up in. What's wrong with CIG? Same as every so-called AAA developer. They need to fire all the deadweight, marketing and middle management, and focus on actually developing the game. So, here's where I'm going to tell you that is preposterous. Because the vast majority of support staff that you would see for video game development, every video game development, is vital to ensuring that the game is success. The reason why marketing matters is that marketing is how people know your game exists. As much as people complain about CIG's marketing, there's a lot of people who wouldn't have known about Star Citizen or even tried Star Citizen without it being advertised to them. No one needs marketing anymore. My brother in Christ. Are you fucking serious? How do you think people discover a game's existence? Oh, this is nothing. I think it's also it's a bad thing when marketing and suits become the main drivers behind any sort of development.
Looks all clear.
Okay.
Scans are clean.
Let me put it this way. The last thing you want is a developer trying to promote your game. developers don't know how to talk to the public. And a CIG is actually a good example of this. How many times have people lost their fucking shit when a developer says something like, oh, this, sandbox activity is part of our exploration gameplay, or the Odyssey is the character killer. Like, those are just people talking about how development works, but the average person doesn't know what the fuck that means, or really knows, like, doesn't get the context and loses their mind. And middle management, like project managers, help keep people on track.
Hey, I'm not seeing anything yet. I'm gonna do a deeper scan. Stand by. Oh no. Get ready. There's company coming your way.
The problem that CIG has, and I think you are hitting on the right way. That's why all these indies are slamming out of the park, with AAA getting are all failing. No. AAAs aren't all failing, dude. That's cope. That's cope. Holy fuck, that's cope. The problem that CIG has, which I think you're probably hitting on, is that they seem to have a large team, and it's hard to tell what all that team is doing. Look, it's a... Okay, I'm going after you first. You're much more of a threat. It's all fucking alien ships. Come on.
Job. Don't back down now.
Sorry, I'm focusing on the game right now, chat. Blow up already. You've lost this fight. I have the high ground, Anakin. Looks like you're clear. Scans clear of targets. You told me their team is so large with so many different people offering their own solution, it's hard for them to reach a consensus on how to fix problems. That's why hiring more people doesn't help them. I agree with that. Hey, done. What are we looking at right now? Yeah. I need 700K left for this. Let's see if they got my medium left risk yet. Nah. We'll do another low risk and see if that medium pops. For a 325A. I can tell you the problem with modern video games, and it's not middle management and marketing. The problem with modern video games is capitalism. As much as that's a cliche answer. At the end of the day, every video game has to be successful. And the people who, at the core of the video game's development, are business folks. That's what's going to have to be. It has to be successful as a business. The problem is that people who are in suits tend to also not know how video games are successful. They're just going to go off of what they want. And there's the equal problem on the other side, because I always like to tell the story. My mom had a brief stint working in marketing as a marketing consultant for video games industry. This is in the 90s. And so she was sitting in a pitch meeting with several other, people like developers and stuff like that. And this developer came to her. I don't remember what company it was. I want to say it was EA, but it may have not been. Came to her and did a pitch where this was the pitch. It was a Jurassic Park-like survival game where you had good dinosaurs and bad dinosaurs. But the way you could tell the difference between the good dinosaurs and the bad dinosaurs was the good dinosaurs would wear blue collars and the bad dinosaurs would wear red collars. I only know about this because my mom gave me the pitch because I was like 11 at the time, like maybe less than that, and I was like, that sounds dumb as shit because like this is like the N64 era. And I was like, how the fuck are you going to be able to tell the difference between red and blue at a distance? But this developer was like, wholeheartedly, this was their idea. This was a great, this was the next big thing. So the answer is, like a lot of art, especially collaborative art, which video games are, is typically you need somebody who has a vision, but that vision also has to be compromised with the realities of what you're making. So as much as suits make no sense and often fuck up video games, often the developers themselves are over ambitious and and think too highly of their own skills and their own ideas. We've seen this plenty of times with plenty of different games companies in the past, even in the recent past, where people who thought themselves better than everybody else were the ones who took on these ideas, being like, hey, this is the next big thing. This is going to be the next big thing. Listen to me, And it turned out that was hot garbage. Yeah, no, it's the old saying of it's not who you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, is typically what happens when it comes to game development, with all fields, really. Okay, you're nothing, I'm leaving. There we go. No game in AAA space is worth the asking prices. They say, well, I mean, fundamentally, I think that the whole like movement towards higher, more expensive games is a mistake. That is a fundamental mistake, and the people who defend it, I don't understand why you defend it. All you have to do is look at the trends. What are the most popular games that are used by the most people that make the most money? So like from a business sense, from a influence sense, from like all of the metrics that most people would like measure video games for, what is the most, what are those games? Gacha games. And are gacha games paid? They're free to play. It's more than just gacha games. It's like games like Fortnite. They're all free to play. All of the biggest games on the planet are free to play. Roblox, another great example. The ones that are probably the biggest game in the world, which is Minecraft, isn't free to play, but Minecraft doesn't cost $90. That's my point, is that generally speaking, the movement and trend of gamers is moving towards free rather than pay. I'm not saying Star Citizen, for instance, should go that direction, but what I'm saying is that argument that games are more expensive to make, so we need to make up the price, completely defeats the idea that, did you ask your audience, did you ask your consumer base if they wanted those games? Like, do you want an open world, GTA clone for $90? Probably not. No one asked for that game. And there's plenty of games with microtransactions that nobody gives a shit about. Like, Warframe has microtransactions, last I checked. And it's free to play. COD, yeah. So, like, from a business standpoint, it's a bad idea. From a culture standpoint, it's a bad idea. And yeah, I know, everybody hates microtransactions. But the reality is, I am nearly 40 years old. In my 30 plus years of being a gamer, no one has liked to pay for anything. Because people don't like paying for anything. They just want a good game. Helldivers is another good example. The reality is that nobody wants to pay for anything ever. But people do. The other thing is that games should be priced for what their value is in the market. Like Helldivers was released at $40, which was a good value. And most people would agree that it's good value, especially since it has microtransactions inside of it, which are optional and you can actually earn through in-game purchase. So they earn in-game grinding. I wish it was a little bit better than it currently is, but it's fine. A full price game should not have microtransactions. I disagree. It depends on the game. Star Citizen, for instance, will have microtransactions. It already does have microtransactions, or macrotransactions in some cases, obviously. But like, it's paid. It's still paid. I don't think Star Citizen should be more than. I don't think it should be $60. I think it should go to $50. I think CIG should release Star Citizen at $50. I think Squadron 42 should be $50 too. So, like, for instance, I'll look at what I know. Someone, I forget who was taught who's because it's Black Cypher. More focus on central development because it doesn't matter how a game looks. If it's trash to play, it's going to fail. Star Citizen is still working on development, but CIG has decided to focus mostly on playability. And overall, the game has improved significantly in terms of playability. There are still problems, but those problems aren't going to be solved in a year. So they are still developing the game. The vast majority of the staff, if you look at their breakdown, is still developers. The actual number of people who are not straight up like artists, animators, engine programmers, coders, designers, the number of people who don't fall into those typical things, like the support staff, like community managers, marketing folks, project managers, they're like maybe less than a third of the company. And how do we know that? They do a breakdown of it every year. Well, it comes out every 2 years, but it's 2 years in the past. But they show you what the staff is like. And we know as of last year, it was still very much the same. So like, the reality is just the vibes are off because it's June. The vibes are going to get worse next month because it's July. And it may or may not get better in August. But the vibes are off. Because the vibes are always off in Star Citizen in this time of year because it's the summer. That comment was in development in general. I remember EA when it was a garage studio, and then in the 90s, they were never a garage studio. Okay, I'll as somebody who grew up around the industry to a degree, yeah, no, absolutely not. They were never a garage studio. They were a small studio that were built off of the backs of other developers. They were a developer-focused studio in the 90s. But, like, they were never a garage studio. I mean, yeah, so was Amazon, founded in a garage. Yeah, it's not really the same. It's a myth. Like, it was filled with experts in the industry. Like the whole Electronic Arts thing was literally just, we're tired of being treated by suits the way that the suits are treating us. We wanted to develop a game studio for gamers, by people who make development. Because people forget that before the 90s, pretty much nobody was singled out in a game development. You weren't even allowed to, like, they didn't even have credits in games. So, like, no one was allowed to take credit for anything they did. So that was the big impetus for EA, was sort of like, we're going to make a game that the developers want to make. We're going to make good games, and we're going to make games that's going to, like, reflect the people who built them. They became suits in the early 2000s. Yeah. It was a great studio. And to a degree, they still kept some of that ethos, even today. But, oh, God. Those Easter eggs, you're talking about DWW. I think the first one, I can't remember what it was, the name of it, but it was like an RPG where you could get in an Easter egg where you could meet somebody who literally says, "Hey, I'm the developer." And it was a huge scandal because you weren't allowed to put yourself in the game or put any sort of references that you made it. And it was the first developer Easter egg that also was effectively a, I want fucking credit for doing this game. Adventure, thank you. BioWare did it to it itself. BioWare is a victim of its own success. And here's the other thing that a lot of people don't want to confront. Game companies are not monoliths because the industry is fluid as fuck. The way that the industry works, which is atrocious, mind you, and especially bad for like institutional knowledge, is you work on a project for 18 months to 4 to 8 years, right? But the average is something around 4 to 6 years. And that's been going up every year since like 2012. Once you finish that project, you're fired. So you know you're going to be fired at the end of the project. You know you're not going to have a job. So you are constantly looking for the next job. So when you reach a point where you're like, okay, well, we're wrapping up this project, I need to find another job. Many of them people just quit because they'll find a job that's a company that's, you know, or a game dev group that's starting a new project, and so you can get on there, and then you can just constantly hop back and forth. Most people in the industry are veterans of like 7 different studios because of how games industries work, which is awful if you want to continue to build games in for your own development studio, because often your star or your rising talent, if you don't catch them soon enough, will just leave, and they'll either found their own studio or go to another studio to help out with that stuff. So as a result, what made, you know, Mass Effect 2 and 3 really good are probably people who don't exist in BioWare anymore. They left. They went to go found another studio or to work for another company. What made Oblivion or Morrowind good, or even Skyrim good, doesn't exist in Bethesda anymore because they left. They went to go form their own companies, or they went to go work for another company. Which is why you'll have companies that like legitimately nobody gave a shit about 5 years ago because like they made nothing but shovelware or dog shit, suddenly just like blow up over the course of 5 years because they usually hired a bunch of people who knew what the fuck they were doing, and they were from other companies and were able to incorporate them and their ideas into those games. Like a good example of this is Respawn. Respawn's dead. Respawn might as well not exist as a company anymore because it's not the same company that made Titanfall, Titanfall 2, Jedi Survivor was the latest one, but before that I can't remember, the Jedi Outcast or whatever. Like that company is gone. So many of those people have left EA and left Respawn and founded their own companies and moved on that it just will never come back. Yeah, it sucks. But it's the thing that we like gamers collectively have to accept as the reality. The fuck? Why are we doing a... Oh, right. Moderate risk. Let's see if this will do anything. Walla Cave. This is where I fucking die. Then why do you have people like the CEO of Blizzard who makes millions for an industry that could corrupt? Because of capitalism. Because the actual that's the game development part is the problem, is part of the problem, but also is the how you make money. Because they're all publicly traded, the goal of a publicly traded company is to make more money next year than they did, or this year than they did last year, and continue infinite growth. And the reality is that no company can achieve infinite growth. It's impossible. It's a myth. But the allure of infinite growth, the seduction of infinite growth, is enough to get people invested. And people will invest in a company they have no fucking idea what it does, simply because of the promise of it growing over time. That's the real corrupter of all games, and that's part of the reasons why people get fired at the end of every cycle, because they can't afford to keep those people on board doing nothing, and they have to have a new project right away. And often, you know, just the nature of development, you're going to have, if you have somebody who's ambitious and have their own ideas, they're not necessarily going to stick around to play or to make games for you if they have an idea that they're passionate about and they want to move on to. Where the fuck is the type? Woo! Spicy. Take you out then. Probably a saber. Blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up. Where are you at? Ah, Razor, even worse. Oh, a shotgun Razor. I fucking hate these assholes. You're just falling to your death? Go up. Fucking finally. Not too bad. Thought that was gonna be worse. There are many CEOs and household name game dev like Cliffy B and CEO of EA, who everyone hates on, who've made obscene personal fortunes with the shareholder investors and such attract. Yeah. Yeah, like the sign that Star Citizen and CIG is actually going to fail is if CIG becomes a publicly traded company. The second CIG becomes a publicly traded company, I'm out. Like, just gone. Never. You won't see me talk or work with CIG ever again. I'm as weary as many other people are that CIG has other investors other than us, but like I kind of understand it. But yeah. Yeah, the Calder's. But the Calder's, like, I understand it to a degree. I understand their stake in it and why they're there. Because they're friends with Chris and Sandy. I don't think they're bloated. I think the problem is, right now, the reason why things are slow is twofold. One, Squadron 42. Every time I talk to anybody who works at CIG, they're always like, Squadron 42. It's like, what's going on? Squadron 42 is going on. Holy fuck, we need to get Squadron 42 out. Squadron 42 is the focus. We need to focus on that. So if there's any sort of a problem with the game, with Squadron 42, they have to pull resources for it. Do I think it's the main drag where like nothing's getting done because of Squadron? No, there are still people who are working in Star Citizen and working on features and stuff like that. But it is the all hands, if there's a fire, you face it. Should CIG be purchased by another company? No. I don't see who, because that's the other problem that I hear often. People say, oh, Chris Roberts should step down as CEO. Okay, who should be in charge? Who should be running CIG? Like, name somebody specifically whom who would be a better idea, who would be willing to run CIG. Benoit? No, you don't want me running CIG. Like, CR is not going to make the best decisions. No CEO ever does. And he's going to make mistakes. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says or everything he believes, but I understand that this project is so fundamentally his that anybody else would sort of cause the whole thing to fall apart. Yeah, anybody else would strip it for parts and run it into the ground if you give her a given opportunity. Unlike most CEOs, Chris Roberts actually works on his own project, which I am torn about because, you know, I don't feel like a CEO should fundamentally. Where we're at? Okay, we're almost at 200. There we go. Offer. We've done a bunch of bounty hunting. Let's see if we can get the. Let's go back to. Let's go back to the actual orbit of ArcCorp. Because I feel that's what's causing me to not see some of these missions. No, I don't think he's selling it. What did you say, Renamon? I didn't see. More about Squadron 42. There's this recent release called Mind's Eye. Buggy mess and release and very bad reception. I hope they don't mess up on their release. I don't know. When I talk with people at CIG about Squadron 42, the response is, I don't know how I feel about the game, but we'll get it done in 2026. The problem is also Squadron 42 isn't in a state where you can really fully playtest the whole thing. So it can be difficult to get a feel for the whole game when you can only play like a handful of hours of it before the game unravels and shits itself. Didn't Smedley make a New World? Black Cypher? Or was he making? Oh, he was trying to make something else, wasn't he? That just never came about. He was using Lumberyard and it was the whole big thing, and then they abandoned Lumberyard. Yep, that's where it was. I think we'll finish this off with a boarding action. I'll probably fuck it up and die, but we'll see.
Foxwell here. Thanks for taking the contract. Make sure to gear up before you head out on patrol. Always pays to be prepared when you're not sure what you'll run into out there. Hey, it's Walton with Foxwell. Courtesy reminder to not head out on patrol without getting geared up. Things been wild out there
Your journey
lately.
begins now. All systems operational.
What's your two major complaints? Too short, not enough player slots. There's 4 players, isn't it? It's short because there's only 2 missions. But you can see at its core, I mean, I personally can see at the core what it's about, why it exists. And it's clear that they play their own game a lot. God damn it. What are you doing? All right, well, we're just gonna boost in 30 kilometers. Go. Oh, not gonna do that fast.
Contact.
Okay, that's who you're here to protect. Make sure they stay safe.
Mayday, mayday! Outlaws are attacking my ship!
Come here, Arrow.
I'm heading out. Yeah.
Scans are clean. Job well done.
Where the hell are you going?
We're clear here.
God, I love it when they do that.
Hold tight while I scan the sector.
All right. Whew. Easy. I've constantly been over 15 years, had real beef with the 4-player co-op crap because I never get to play them as much. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be mods to increase the player cap from 4 to like 6 and stuff like that, but I don't think there's just enough to do with it. 4 is a solid constant number. You can also go solo. Like, it's entirely possible to play the game solo, and they want to make it so it's solo. That's why they have Buddy. Hey, we reached 1,900 followers. I didn't know that.
Scope.
Welcome, everybody. Talking about the Starcitizen mod manual? No, I'm talking about the jump ship. But yeah, I get... Starcitizen will also have mods. I don't think it'll ever function the way CG hopes, but yeah.
Scans are clean.
I think they could add a second gunner seat and then also having a group of people fly around and eat the enemy ships like angry bees. Yeah, you could board, for instance.
Running a scan. Maintain your position.
Gonna come up. Yep, that's gonna do. They're gonna happen.
Watch out, enemies heading your way.
Okay, it's a Gladius. Hate this clutter, CIG.
Contact.
2 Gladiuses, I think. Firing blindly. Oh, he's firing at other ships. Can outmaneuver you. A lot of people don't know, but the Gladius actually has worse maneuvering. This shaky shimmy shit.
You're doing a hell of a job. Don't back down now.
The Mustang Alpha has a better maneuvering rate than the Gladius does.
Contact.
Yeah, fly into that rock. Fly into that rock.
Alright, not seeing any more hostiles. I think you're in the clear.
I like his smile. I love his little smile.
Don't see anything here.
Oh. I don't think I'll be able to get what I want to get, but I'll get close. I'm already here? Okay. What? Tungsten quartz. Is it in commodities I can grab? Tungsten I can grab, not the quartz. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna have to jump out and jump back in because I think I broke it. Oh no, it's over here. There we go. It doesn't have missiles, no. None of the Mustangs have missiles. The closest one that has missiles is the Delta, which has rocket pods. The real thing that the Mustang Alpha needs is just it needs its wings to not be garbage. The reason why we call this ship Lefty is because one of the wings always rips off.
Contact.
Okie. Good. Yeah, broke the Foxwell guy. See, it doesn't matter which one breaks. I think the right one breaks more frequently, but it doesn't matter which one breaks by calling it lefty. No matter what, it works. Oh, the right one broke. Yeah, that's why we call it lefty. Oh, the left one broke. Yeah, that's why we call it lefty. You think it's intentional now with the lowered number of planets that we'll see Castor and Nyx? CIG want to belt out those systems in timely manner. The real reason why we haven't seen a lot of updates on those systems, almost certainly, is because they have to do a lot of back end work in terms of just gameplay functionality. So there's no reason to talk about like how Nyx is going to function until they have like scanning and other features in which they want to have available for missions in there. Only 3 planets and they're all dead. One's an ice giant. C6M0 doing it again. I call it the glass-winged forehead. Is this a bulbous cockpit? Yeah. All right, next location. I think I broke the Foxwell guy's communications. Maybe he'll come back. You'll definitely be able to buy the Pioneer in game eventually. I personally believe that CIG needs to move to a position where like they release the game. They release the ships when they are available for everybody else. Just because that will it's an easy win because people will be like, oh, cool, I can just get it in game, so I don't feel forced or like. I don't feel pressured to buy it. So it removes that whole, like, people be like, oh, FOMO. When you remove that, because I don't think CIG is doing it intentionally for FOMO. I think they're just doing it because it's what they always do. I think less malice, more laziness. And I think the Pioneer being available day one for people to earn in game as well as to play full play will, like, make a lot of people happy. They're like, oh, well, I mean, I don't have to go out and buy it, like, uniquely. Okay. Come up. Fuck! Slid right into that. I did this. I pulled an NPC. That was me slamming into the protective client. Who put that 400i there? Two things I'd like to see. See if we can refresh this. Should have stopped at the Bajini and set my spawn there. It's all right. Not get killed by them. Listen, all right? Decisions were made, okay? Maybe not good decisions, but decisions nonetheless. So Stanton, Pyro, Nyx, Castor, Terra. Wait, Nyx connects to the Pyro and Virgil. Then Virgil's the sixth system? No, it also connects to Odin. Odin's going to be the sixth system. Once Squadron 42 goes gold, they'll start working on Odin. Nyx and Castra each have 2 planets. Nyx is a large asteroid field in Delamar in addition. When did CIG say they were cutting any of that? They're not cutting any of that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think they're going to remove the number of planets. The planets are actually pretty small in the rest of them. Even, I think Terra's got some sizable number of planets, but like Pyro has more planets than Terra does. Yeah, I definitely think we'll see Magnus. I think the systems we will see after the first 5 are Odin, Magnus, Tohill, Hadrian, and maybe Virgil. Those 5 systems. Magnus, because Drake. Tohill, because it's another system like Pyro and Nyx, in that it's not aligned, but it's not. It's unique because Tohill is like Tortuga, but like actual Tortuga. It's sort of like a no man's land where the rich and the poor come and rub shoulders together. It's sort of just this unregulated free market of an exchange of ideas. So there's like lots of smugglers who go there, but it's also like lots of traders go there. It sits between the Xi'an and UEE empires, UEE. So the Xi'an Empire and UEE. So there's lots of like intermixing of Xi'an culture with human culture and vice versa. So it's this sort of nexus gateway, and it's got a unique. The Tohill 3, which is its main landing zone, is sort of this, or main planet has this unique, like, floating islands of flowers. They don't have, like, islands. They have, like, living islands. And Hadrian has a unique aspect that it's all ice giants and gas giants. So its unique feature is that it is also on the border of the Xi'an, but it's also more sort of like lawful. It is part of the UEE and all that sort of thing.
Now arriving.
And then Virgil is obviously Odin's done, so that's why it's easier one. And then Virgil is the Vandal territory. So. I don't think they'll have anything but the 5 above at 1.0. That's what I'm talking. No, what I was talking about was like all those 5 are not going to come out until after 1.0 is released. I said that purely because there's a gateway station for Magnus already in Stanton. Yeah, no, it's close, but there's also there's also a gateway. There'll be a gateway to.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system. Your insurance claim, please visit us again.
Hello, and welcome to Riker Memorial Spaceport, servicing the greater Area 18 metropolitan.
There will also be a jump point for Nyx and also for Castra, because I think Castra also connects to Pyro.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieve. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
I think even Pyro connects to Bremen, I think, too. So I can see Bremen as well.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
Because that's the headquarters of Consolidated Outland. Yeah, there'll be some sort of gateway station between all of them. I think it just depends on how they want to do stations, because like in Stanton it makes sense since it's a settled system. So we'll see if there's going to be a gateway station like we have a gateway between Stanton and Pyro, or if it's going to be a pirate station, or if anything like that. So. Kind of. It used to be the Empire's breadbasket. It's sort of become sort of a secondary food producer. Terra now produces a lot of the Empire's food, which is why Terra is so important. But most of the farms in Bremen are either owned by like people like the Kerners, who've been there forever, or Terra industrialists. Like Bremen might as well be like part of Terra. Kano, Castra, Hadrian, Nyx, Oso, Stanton, Terra. Yeah, those sorts of things. Yeah, it's Nyx that has the Bremen connection. Okay. So yeah, Pyro to Nyx, Nyx to Bremen. Oh yeah, Centauri is going to be one of the last ones they do. Davian, Centauri, Farron, Croshaw, Killian, Cathcart. These will all be very late, much later.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All systems operational.
One of the things I've been saying since the start of, for a couple years now, I should say, was that even if CIG releases, even after CIG releases things like server meshing, we will see more things coming out faster than you think, but not as fast as you hope. Like, we'll probably get Nyx by the end of this year in some way, shape, or form, if it's not completely released, at least in a preview format. And it'll release next year. And we'll see Castra after that. But we'll probably see Castra faster in 2026 than we see Nyx. And then we'll see Terra probably a little bit after that. Yeah, tech preview sort of thing. Londo! Funny part is Centauri. Maybe. Well, you also got to remember that a lot of what CIG has been doing with things like Pyro, with like these first 5 systems, is developing toolkits. Kits that they can then reuse for other locations. We probably won't see Terra when Squadron 42 comes out, but we'll see Terra shortly after. I don't think we'll see a speed up until after Squadron 42 is released and has a few stability patches. Well, you got to remember that the people who are working on things like the systems, like the planets and the stations, that kind of stuff, they probably don't have a lot to do or any to do in Squadron at this point. What Squadron's main focus is like playability. It's focusing on like balance. It's focusing on story. So the only thing that might slow down Star Citizen's might slow down CIG's Star Citizen development is the lore team creating content for to write about, but that's not much of an issue, I don't think. you're going to see a lot of reuse of assets. They cannot make every system completely unique. You're going to see plenty of reuse of assets. The hope is that CIG learns how to mitigate that effectively. Oh yeah, we see the same store in all these different places because it's a fucking store. You know, a Walmart, a 7-Eleven, whatever. Like, there might be like a unique store, but you don't need to build a unique layout for a unique store. You just have to put a unique name and branding on it. They do. The issue is more, they don't have the toolkits built out for all of that yet. Yeah, it just needs to fit within the feel of the game, not necessarily be the, like, best, like, this is. You're hearing banging. That's my cat. She's trying to get into the cabinet next door. She does this every time. She gets bored and tries to open up the cabinet so she can go explore. Yeah! This is my Zero to Hero run. So this is a completely new account.
Foxwell here. Thanks for taking the contract. Make sure to gear up before you head out on patrol.
I might lose this ship.
When you're not sure what you'll run into out there.
I have to get close to it. Clear? I think I'm clear. All right, I'm going to get my body after I win. Dust and clouds. That's all.
Fight's over here, genius.
Almost there. Are you serious right now? Are you being serious right now?
Weapons free, y'all.
Oof, oof. Ooh, you hit hard. I think I hit harder, though. Yep.
Pressure on him.
You are not very serious opponent, are you? Is that a Tana? Yeah, you are a little bit more of a serious opponent now. It's so fucking hard to hit you with that facing me.
I'm heading out. Take care.
Good. I think you're in the clear now. don't see anything here.
This issue comes with gameplay and feel, generally. Where'd my body go? Face through. All right, where's my next run? Or is that it? I think that was it. Hey. Be right back, chat. I'll do one more of those so I can get to, like, almost there. Like, just close to there. All right. I'm gonna say something that's gonna be controversial because I think a lot of people want this, but I don't think CIG should ever sell cheap packs for non-ship players. I used to believe that. I used to say, yeah, it's a good idea, but the more I've seen how Star Citizen works, the more I'm like, that's gonna be abused instantly. I'll do this, and then I'll do the boarding action if I can.
Foxwell appreciates you covering that patrol.
When games aren't meant to be totally different in terms of story and lore, they look the same, sound the same, feel the same. You know, studio has a problem. Ubisoft had that problem. Hey, Identification. How you doing?
Hey, I'm not seeing anything yet. I'm gonna do a deeper scan. Stand by.
Didn't pop up? We're good. I think it's entirely possible for players to, like CIG, to make a situation where players can earn money without a ship. I think that's a great challenge, but I don't think CIG will oversell those.
Scan is clean.
Problem they have this currently is that you know if it's going to be clean or not within the first couple of seconds. Because the enemies will pop up right away. They need to make it so that it's not like, oh yeah, I know this isn't going to happen. Like, to like vary up the introduction, like if they come in or not. Even to the extent of, I need a pilot to take a ship full of medical supplies to name on planet settlement. You have to prove you can fly and land first. I mean, that's just progression, though. That's like reputation.
Hold tight while I scan the sector.
This is definitely going to be, yep. See what I mean?
Hostiles inbound.
Right away. And I get the idea. I get the impetus. Like we just wanted to get them in combat right away. Right away. To know that, oh yeah, this is a serious situation. Oh, you are first. You are very much first, sir. You are going to be a pain in my ass to kill. You're a sentinel too. Ouch! At least you're a sentinel and not... Nope, nope, no, 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 no. Nope, 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 nope. I need to take out that engine. So I take out one of your engines, you're basically done. There we go. He's just gonna spin now. Now he's done. He's a sausage.
Hey, you're doing good. Keep it up.
I'm gonna miss this maneuverability when I get to 325A.
Not picking up any hostile activity. Giving you the all clear. We're clear here.
Yeah. Nah, see, I used to think that too, Renamon. I don't think they should do a ship this back anymore. Just because, like, it would end up being bad. People would end up getting those packages for various other purposes, and it would probably end up not being fun.
That's the client. Do whatever you have to do to keep them safe.
Contact.
Mayday, mayday! Outlaws are attacking my ship!
Okay, I'm gonna go after you first. Because I know how easy you are to kill. Unless you jump like that, which I don't like you doing.
You're doing a hell of a job. Don't back down now.
Come on, Tebby.
Contact.
You like chicken tonight. We're nimble as fuck. What the shit? Of course, you're also jumping around a little bit.
Thank you. I thought we were done for.
Good. I think you're in the clear now.
Disrespect you. Woo!
Clear here.
Experience FOOM, not FOMO. Note, I have 1.4 million, and I still haven't really. I've only used like a cutlass once as a rental cutlass. Definitely has some issues, and this is like 5 or 6 days of playing, but I usually don't play it more than a couple of hours. All right, so let's see if the contract. Let's see if the mercenary contract shows up. There is no mercenary contract. All right, let's head back to ArcCorp then. Could Starcitizen eventually offer an experience that a player could spend an entire month on a single planet exploring, building, mining, and more without running out of things to do or need to leave? Probably at some point. I don't think we're there yet, but we're not too far away. All right, let me actually set my spawn at... that must be Bajini. Yeah. At Bajini. So I don't keep spawning at Area 18. I mean, Levski is going to be my home until Magnus comes. But I'd like to know, think about a crew packs that attributed to someone who has X amount of game time or X amount of backing if they could gift to their friends. I think the best answer is to do regular game packages and have sales on them regularly. Have discounted versions of them regularly. So, like, the whole goal of this Black Cipher is that I will do a, eventually, I'm going to do one of these game packages is just going to be, I think it's this one, that is just going to be me going around the universe working on other people's multi-crew ships. So I'm just going to find somebody who needs help multi-crewing and then say, hey, can I get paid to work with you on a multi-crew ship? And I'm going to, like, off stream, I might stream it a little bit, but the idea is to be kind of incognito. So no one knows that I'm like a content creator, and then sort of just go enjoy that and see how it works.
Landing gear engaged.
I'm gonna repair, rearm, refuel. You need a voice changer. I'll just do an accent.
Welcome.
Do one of my bad accents.
Your vehicle has been moved to Astro. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Lefty. You got a beer. No, that's the idea. Is it'll be in-game chat. Hey, Paul. Question for you about what we saw happen in Banshee to the Banshee in Squadron 42. Do you think the crew could have survived? Which one was the Banshee? Oh, the Idris that got fucking shot in two. The one that got like rammed through. Yeah, they could have survived in some cases. Depends on where they were. I don't think all of them survived, obviously, but some of them may have.
A red striped shirt, red and white hat, and glasses. Would you please contact the front desk to let us know where you spotted them? Thanks.
Yep. If they're behind closed bulkheads, yeah, or close to the escape pods. Let's see if the mission's spawned yet. Yes, it did. All right, chat, here goes nothing. This is the one that always screws up. Or I'll, like, die. Lefty might just get exploded because I might miss a reinforcement step. If that comes, I'll just steal the 300. That was a world. Yeah, that's a Where's Waldo reference. Yeah, it's what's really weird is to see people in uniforms during battle stations. Like you, especially in that situation, the fact that they're not in spacesuits seems odd. Like that's one thing I would change if I was CIG is like have the majority of the crew in spacesuits once battle stations have been called. Because that would be like, oh, well, you know, maybe have some people in non-space suits, but they need to have some sort of like suit. Yeah, or a helmet that they can, like an emergency helmet that they have on or something like that. StarCitizen has lots of depth. The problem is that most of the depth isn't in game.
extracted. Contact. Contact.
Fuck off. Almost dead. Almost dead. Oh, fucking fuck. Really? One of you fuckers? I've got things to do. I'm not going to be able to halt the transmissions, I don't think.
Contact.
Come on. Fuckers take forever to kill. Let you restart your pull up. There you go. God, it's taken me a minute to kill this bastard. Fucking finally. Where's the fucking 890? There it is. So don't get close to it. Go through the sides. All right, Lefty, good luck. Counting on you. Yeah, off the transmission. It took too long to kill. There's no heat in space. There's no cold in space. It's just space. That's why, like, being in space doesn't make you colder because, like, you build up heat in space. Open, please. There's nothing, chat. I am not as good as this guy with FPS. I'll take that helmet. Hey. There's got to be more. Here. Yep, kneel down. Where was it? I'm going to steal your chest piece because I love this chest piece. Ooh, also, nice. You have... Oh, it's a P8. Okay. 8. P8. Okay. Keep doing that, but I want to make sure. There's dead folks. They're not up here, but you never know. Go to foyer. Spyglass. Good job holding the line there, Lefty. This is definitely SPA. Time to go down to the, got 9 left, and they're all going to be at the hangar. Every so often, there are some jackasses here in this kitchen. Go backwards a little bit. It's here. Yeah, boys. Gotta restock this real quick. Just whip. This is a P4. Frag. Back to left team, we out. Check it out. Oh, the mission's still up. What's the over? Maybe if when I get out. No one will know I was here. No one survived, so no one will know I'm here. Yeah, you can, but it'll fail the mission. Game, please. Oh no. Oh no, game, please. Don't do this. Not like this. Less than a month to Vegas, yeah. No! No! Oh. Always when I'm about to end the stream. It's always when I'm about to end the stream that Star Citizen wants to reassert itself. Like, I had a good time. Who knows? It might end up being might end up being okay. I can cope. Was I still thrusting? Going forward, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Skull, that's what I was going to go do. I was going to go take the 300i because it's like, something's glitched. Let's see. It might recover. It might recover. I can cope, chat. I can cope. I've had one 30K straight from a server error, but I've only had like 2 server errors. Oh, 0 to hero. That's what's going on. Zero Hero wide 890 jump. This was the 890 jump in mission. So I was trying to finish it off because it was like 90K. And it was good to test out to see if I could survive. And I did. I wasn't able to get the last part, but. Hey. I'm back. Mission didn't complete, but I think the mission completes when you jump away. If I remember this mission correctly. Yep, mission borked. All right, let's see if I can do it one more time. Because if I had done that, I would have been at 1,500. Potential security threat. Ooh. I'm going to head back to... Area 18. Well, it completed. I got the kill, but yeah. So does recommend it to stay 2 kilometers out from the jump? Wow. Okay, that's a hell of a long of a. Does it just fuck up if you're too close? I may have also crashed the server with that, so that could have been an issue. Oh, that way the timer doesn't start. Got it. Yep, already abandoned the mission. Contract pops up again.
Please proceed to assign...
Tired of flying your Herc? I'm not tired of flying this thing. I will miss Lefty when we get the 325A. That won't be today.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
All right, let's turn that off now. Let's see if the contracts have reset or not. They have. Ugh. Ugh. Need to do the Wicklow missions. I'll probably do that at some point. I'll get the do this one. Maybe it'll pop back up again. 325A, the reason why I chose 325A is because it's better in terms of what I want to do. It also has cargo. It has heavier hitting guns than the Cutlass, generally speaking. It's cheaper than the Cutlass.
Thank you. And please visit again.
And it also has 6 SCU of cargo, laid out in a way where you can actually take, 6 SCU of cargo. And it has a size 4 nose mount. And it has a pretty decent maneuvering. Holds some pretty decent stuff. It's slightly better than the Avenger, in my opinion, for this role. It says 4. I think it is 6. Because the 315, it might have 4. Because the 315 has 12. And it has like a 6 and 2. Or, no, 8 and 2. Titan has more cargo in the same guns. Okay. I don't know if I want the Titan, though. The Titan is so, like, icky. 315 has 12 SU, yeah. So I think the way it works is that it's got 8 and 4. Because it's got 2 cargo bays. And then the 300 has 8 SCU. And then the 325 has 4 SCU. So basically, the 315 has both the 300 and the 315. No, the 300 has the 300 has its own, or the 315 has the 300 and the 325A's cargo bays combined. All right, where's this mission? Tracking it. Oh, didn't even count. It's not. Okay. They're not. I think because the server just went down. They're not working properly. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to call it there.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
The only reason why the Titan doesn't fit the Aegis aesthetic anymore is because it's literally the only ship that has it. If they made another ship with the Avenger aesthetic, it would make sense, but they just haven't. It's all been like heavy focus on the Gladius and the Vanguard. Like the Saber is literally the Gladius and the Vanguard kit. Am I insane for wanting aquatic predators that are actually fearsome? No, but it's going to be a while before they can even get to that point. I'd settle for actual fearsome land animals. Like, the Copian isn't that fearsome. They're just annoying.
Landing gear engaged.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
All right, Lefty, you did well. Sleep well. I'll see you next Monday.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle. Your vehicle has been. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Let me look up. So the Avenger Titan. Ironically, I could get the Titan right now. Gosh, I hate being that guy. Where can I buy it, though? Lorville. All right. Before we end, how about we just retire Lefty? Nah, Mustang doesn't make a lot of sense.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
Retrieve.
vehicle has been. Please visit us again.
We'll finish this up by going to... Right now, it's 1.3 mil. I'm at 1.4 mil. So I did just be able to earn it. And I will probably swap out some of these because the Titan has 2 size 3s, right? And a size 4 on the front. Or those size 2s? Two size 3s. And a 4, yeah. I might be able to swap out some of the internal components that I bought, the shields and such, but I don't think I can swap out the guns. Because these are size 2s on the front and size 1s.
Welcome. Your journey begins now. All systems operational.
Reliant Tor, Kore or Tana. The Tana is the military one. I would always suggest that the military one over the Core. Like, the fucking 315p outhauls the Tana. Or the Core. The Core is a joke.
Landing gear retracted.
It needs to be able to hold more.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Then I call it the Corey because it's like, is it the Core or is it the Corey? So I call it the Corey. Because it's funny. We have the Steve, we've got the Corey. We got the Tally. Am I wrong that I could see a bigger version of the Mustang? Yeah, I mean, I could see them doing like a medium or a heavy version of the Mustang, for sure. Snubstang. A snub version of the Mustang? Basically, make it a medium ship. So, like, take the wings and make them, like, slightly different. Change the profile just a little bit, but, yeah, I can see it. Alex, Redamon's referring to ICBMs in terms of nuclear-tipped ICBMs, even though, yeah, ICBMs have become pretty popular. Hey, log. Not for this one, Big Boss. This one is my combat one. He means ICBMs. I don't know why he's saying IR. Oh, intermediate range ballistic missiles. Oh. You're talking about like the mid-length missiles, yeah. The ones that they had the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis is all about. Lorville's so ugly. I love it. It's always covered in this cloud. You can barely get through it. Top of the Hearst building is always in a cloud. I think it's Central Business District, that's called. Or Central is what it's called, not Business District.
Warning, safe zone exited.
Always want to go to land.
Landing gear engaged.
Safe zone exited.
All right, Lefty. I'm gonna strip you for parts.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieve. Your vehicle has been. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Epilepsy there for a moment. Walking through normal dead bodies. Very typical of Hurston. Titan. There we go. We spawn it here and begin the stripping.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Stored. It is already stored here. Okay, perfect. Vehicles. Titan. Gotta go to Alpha. Equip. Equip. Save temperatures and equip. And then we go to the Titan. Systems. Expedition. Yeah, these are the ones I'm gonna equip. Revenant Gatling. I can't bother with that. There you go, chat.
Welcome.
The next step.
Vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit us again.
What's my pre-1.0 endgame? For what? This is my 0 to hero character. It's a little different. Really? This thing sucks. God, its power sucks ass. The coolers actually matter, though, don't they? It's going to be better. This will be better because it's more survivable. And it can hold more stuff so I can actually make some money off of things. Back to our corp. You can put vapor blocks in it. The yellow light disappears. What's vapor blocks? The issue with abandoned ships and trying to is if you trespass on those ships, you will get shot at in bunkers. Stealth coolers? Okay. Also, last night I saw a Titan eat a Cuddy's lunch at Hathor. The Cuddy's not a fighter. It can work well, but it's definitely not a fighter. Not really designed for it. Right. I'm going to run through a basic mission, and then we'll call it. No way it's back. Hit up the medium. I love watching dogfights happen in the distance from a first-person perspective. It's glorious to see them fight. All right, at least it's barely light here. The Mako is, I don't know what the Mako's job is going to be. It's one of the few ships that, like, it had a position, it had an idea. I think CIG will eventually make it work for something, but it won't work the way they thought it originally did. I don't know. That is definitely not, oh, well, that's not you. Okay. Let's go, Saber. Down. You go down. Is he dead? He's dead. Not bad. Definitely more efficiently killed. In the lore, the Cutlass is supposed to be offered as versus the Wildcat. Maybe Drake made changes to the Buccaneer closer to the original entry. Possibly. I mean, the thing is that the Cutlass is a fighter, but it is a scrub fighter. It's designed as a cheap and efficient militia fighter, not designed as a fighter that's designed to take on dedicated fighters. It basically is designed to fight pirates and outlaws, people on the frontier who don't have necessarily the best access to equipment. It's also designed to be cheap enough that you could buy a ton of them and use them all at once. So, like, yeah, you might easily be able to deal with one Cutlass, but then when there are 4 of them, fully crewed, you know, go fuck yourself. Honestly, I'm hoping that they get scanning and engineering in before CitizenCon. But if they don't, then those two, just updates on those. Though my actual wish list would just be an update on Nyx. Obviously an update on the ships that are coming out, and then Nyx. This CitizenCon is going to be a long ISC. That's all it is. 2 hours, mostly just going to be a big, hey, this is sort of a recap of everything we've done this year and what we're going to be doing in the next few months. The thing I definitely need to do, first things first, is remove the fucking side. What I need to do is replace the front mount with replace everything with attritions. Size 4 attrition and 2 size 3 attritions, because that should be much more feasible. I also need better fucking power plants. Should probably reset it, refill it up. Did it choose just a 2-hour presentation? Yeah. We're not going to see Planetary Tech 5 be done, Kimmy. It's not going to be done until 2027 or whenever 1.0 is out.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval. Your vehicle has been placed.
Like, this is the cold hard truth is the only things I would expect to even see a little bit, if not complete on, is engineering version 0.5 or whatever it is, part 1 of 6. Scanning, the new scanning stuff, FPS and ship-based scanning. And maybe dynamic server meshing and maybe NICs. That's it. And maybe crafting. Those 5 things are the ones that I would even have an inkling that might happen. Everything else, no way. Absolutely not. I hope we get more stuff on Squadron 42 too. I believe my unless something goes absolutely wrong, horribly wrong, which it could. I think we'll see a announcement date at CitizenCon, like a hard announcement date for Squadron. Nope, the economy. Nope, we're not going to see anything about the economy. We won't see anything about. And the thing is that like every year CIG surprises me with something new that they put in there that I wasn't expecting. But yeah. The big issue about Nyx is that Nyx is filled with a dark nebula, and its main sort of thing, kind of like Pyro's thing is flares. The main thing for Nyx is it's hard to navigate. So it's hard to use. Like you have to like use lots of. So your sensors don't work very well. So you have to kind of really work your sensors to figure out where you are. So you can hide in that nebula really easy. See in the Black Seas all the meeting. Yeah, I don't want to be like the downer, but like the realistic expectation is what are CIG working on right now, based off of what we've seen in the monthly reports and what they've talked about. It's scanning, Maelstrom, engineering, what are they called? Flight, controls, what are they called? Flaperons, ailerons, control surfaces, I think is what they said. And then crafting and base building. Like those are really the focus. But you don't get crafting or base building without engineering. And part of engineering is also scanning, because you need to have some of that stuff in for the scanning stuff. So like engineering needs to be in. Then you can have scanning, which is important for everything going forward, like mining, salvaging, bounty hunting, finding like the early versions of exploration for things like finding transient jump points and stuff like that. So like all of those things need to be done. They need to be done for all of those things. So those are the main focuses, and that's what they've been doing in the monthly reports. You can see that. Okay, I'll be back Wednesday, possibly. We'll see. I'll update on Wednesday about this. I want to do a jump ship stream because I want to show off jump ship because it's cool. And I think more people should play it because they've extended the demo until next Monday. So if you haven't had a chance to, go check that out. But I'll probably be playing a little bit of Star Citizen and then work into jump ship there. And then Thursday will be the office hours. Friday will be pub and plays. We'll probably go back to Dune. And then on Saturday will be the captain's table. The topic right now for that captain's table is Is Death of a Spaceman still viable? And then tentatively, the next one is going to be Alien Week, kind of a review of Alien Week. But keep an eye out for the videos that I'm going to be releasing this week. I'll be at least releasing two, one for the captains, one for the AstroPub, and one's for the Astro Historian. Those should be done in the next 2 or 3 days. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. And like I say every day, to see you someday.